All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. My coworkers will say, "You got the spacesuit on," because I'm going to the gym in a second. This is not about losing weight. This is about staying warm because my back is killing me from this car wreck. Anyway, this video is entitled "You Can't Have Feminism and Patriarchy." Hey, a serious topic on a holiday. I know I was supposed to do this last night. And I was tired, man. I worked like 10 hours. I was just tired, okay? So I'm gonna do it today. Because I'm mooching off of other people today. So I ain't gotta cook. Now, one of the things I saw was, I listened to our women and I listened to their complaints. And I listened to the fellas and our complaints. And to me, two opposing ideologies cannot exist at the same time. And I'm gonna try to be fair when I say what I'm saying. Ladies want feminism and gynocracy and hypergamy, which is like those things are basically in the same space, right? But if you want those things, you can't have patriarchy with them. You can't have feminism, which is quote unquote equality, and still want patriarchy or chivalry under patriarchy. You get what I'm saying? That won't exist at the same time. If you want to be independent, you can't want independence and dependence or interdependence at the same time. So you can't have both. So if you want to be a feminist and you want to be independent, you have to be independent. If you want to be hypergamous, dating up because of social class, then you have to do that in patriarchy. You can't do that in feminism, because what you try to do in feminism is you trying to get the benefits of being independent with the golden parachute of getting taken care of like the matriarch of a patriarchy. It's not going to work because it creates conflict, as we see, That's a big problem, Now, I don't understand why people have an issue with that, but the same thing about, our women talk about what we haven't built anything for them or we haven't done anything for them. Well, you can't ask for things being built under a feminist ideology. You're supposed to build it. You wanted the equality. That means you build your own things independently. That's where the equality lies. You can't get mad at men for not building you something when you're under a feminist ideology, when you're supposed to be doing it for yourself. So like I said, it's a problem. It's a big problem because you can't have the benefits of that. Part of, I think, the declining marriage rates is because of this same ideology, because women want feminism, but they want patriarchy. They want the benefits of feminism, and they want the securities of patriarchy, and they're not going to exist at the same time cohesively. You're not in trying to win the lottery to get it to be as independent as a woman as you want to be and do what you want to do and have no responsibility for your actions because of patriarchy is not gonna, as you can see, is creating a massive conflict. I'm gonna flip this around for a second. Like with the fellas, you can't want to be a patriarch and under the loopholes of feminism either. So if you want to be the head of household, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. You can't be the half boss and then want the whole the whole respect. You know, the you can't be the head. You can't be half of the head and expect that everything is going to run the way you want it to. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's the head of household, not the two-headed household, the two heads of household. Like somebody's got to be the leader. So you can't want to be the leader, but then say, well, I'm with a feminist, so she wanted equality, so she got to be the leader too. It's not going to work. You know, somebody got to be able to take the credit and the fall. One person, not two. Somebody has to be the final decision maker. And that's where a lot of this stuff is having a big problem, because, you know, when hypergamy comes along, we go from patriarchs to we gonna see, you know, when gynocracy comes along, we go from patriarchs to, well, we gonna get in where we fit in the middle. Well, if you consider yourself a patriarch or a builder, you're not going to compromise to feminism, to gynocracy, to hypergamy. You're not going to do it, because ultimately, you know, that doesn't work. Not because it's women, but because that ideology doesn't work when it comes to building a family or a community. And even in as much as people try to make excuses to give it time to work and give people time to come around, we see far more dysfunction out of it than functionality. And everybody wants to excuse the dysfunction because everybody actually wants to participate in the dysfunction. You know, because one thing that I will say feminism did give people a great loophole out of was responsibility. Patriarchy gave you no outs for being irresponsible. You know, shotgun weddings were under patriarchy. You feel me? Like, you ain't going nowhere. Better sit right there, boy. You better say I do, boy. Don't make me. I don't hit you with old Roscoe. I didn't hear you. Say I do. That's what I thought. Say it again. Say it again. A little louder, boy. I do. There you go. There you go. You know, ain't no shotgun weddings under feminism, ain't this? So it's okay. We're going to get somebody else to do it. You know, we'll find somebody else to take the responsibility off of you irresponsible people. You know, that's why I said they can't exist at the same time. Feminism and patriarchy, like, are enemies, and people don't want to admit that. You see, you can't use feminism as a new matriarchy, because patriarchy and matriarchy can work together. Feminism and patriarchy, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. You know, and then when people try to the matriarchy into have transformed the matriarchy under feminism into gynocracy, right? And the problem with that is why they don't exist, or why they won't exist together, is because one of the biggest problems with feminism is, at the end of the day, bottom line is it's always going to be men's responsibility under feminism. See, feminism, gynocracy, hypergamy, even though it's female ideology, female driven, a female's point of view of how the world should work, it's not a female's responsibility to execute it, or it's not a female's blame when it goes wrong. So that's why they will never exist, because at the end of the day, men have to fix feminism, gynocracy, and hypergamy. The responsibility of getting it right is on the men, not even the women with their own ideology. So that's why I say they never exist. So basically, you know, feminism to me is like the prodigal son. It wants to go out in the world and do whatever it wants to do, like gynocracy, prodigal son, hypergamy, prodigal son. It wants to go out in the world, do whatever it wants to do, and then when life kicks you in the teeth, it wants to run back to patriarchy and say, take me as I am and fix me. And it's like, this ain't the Bible. Like, you can't, because that patriarch had a prodigal son. I'm sure they had other kids, that they had to take care of. They couldn't just go in the world chasing out the prodigal son everywhere they wanted to go because they had other responsibilities. Now, patriarchy has other responsibilities that are beyond the supposed matriarchs of the family. They have the generations coming down the pike that they have to take care of. They have, their children, their siblings, their grandchildren, their extended family, the business. So feminism and patriarchy can't coexist because of this, and there is no responsibility for a feminist, a hypergamist. What is the other one I just forgot? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Feminism, hypergamy, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the other one is, to put the weight of the responsibility on their shoulders. They're not going to do it. Gynocracy. I'm sorry. A gynocratist. Gynocracist or whatever. They're not gonna say, we have to take responsibility for this next generation. We have to build businesses. We have to save money. We have to create legacies. We have to maintain the communities. We have to create the next generation to produce more for the next generation after that. We got to think 100 years ahead or 6 and 7 generations ahead. They're not doing that. Actually, they're undermining that process and then wanting guys and trying to raise guys to replenish what they've destroyed. And that's why I said it's not going to exist, because the guys that are even coming up in the generations of feminism are understanding that they're working too hard for people who don't want to get ahead, who just want to who want a reset button to see if they're going to mess it up again instead of growing. That's why, unfortunately, if you look at it historically, the growth of communities ceases to exist with the with the implementation of feminism, because instead of constantly growing, now you're doing one step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step, because now you're trying to quote unquote equal the playing field, but you don't make people better so they can work for better. You're making people worse and then wanting people to get it back to how good it was. And that's never going to work. And that's why patriarchy doesn't really rock with feminism. So we out. Peace.